Welcome back. Good Thursday morning, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us this morning, and I hope you're having a good morning. I'm Maria Bartiromo, and it is Thursday, May 8th. It is 8 a.m. on the button on the East Coast. Coming up this hour, the CEO of Rockwell Automation is here on the company earnings and moving production to the United States. We'll get into it. Then the exiled Crown Prince of Iran, Reza Pahlavi, is here to talk about this latest round of nuclear talks between the United States and Iran. We'll get into the Iranian people. But first is this. U.S. Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins will visit the United Kingdom in the coming days to pursue new trade opportunities for American agriculture. President Trump announced the first U.S. major trade deal will be with the U.K. The president confirming that this morning, writing on Truth Social, the agreement with the U.K. is a full and comprehensive one that will cement the relationship between the United States and the United Kingdom for years to come. It is a great honor to have the United Kingdom as our first announcement on trade. Joining me now is the woman herself, the Agricultural Secretary, Brooke Rollins. Secretary, great to see you. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning. Good morning. It's a great day. Another great day at the White House, Maria.
I want to get your take on what this UK deal means. Of course, we're going to hear from President Trump at 10 a.m. when he gives a White House press conference on this. But walk us through some of the opportunities that could be possible in a new trade deal with the UK.
Well, I want to be very careful, obviously, not to get ahead of President Trump. So let me just say a couple of quick top lines. First of all, this is just the first of what will be many new and better opportunities as President Trump realigns the world economy around putting America, and from my perspective, American agriculture first. And really the fact that UK is our very first deal. And today, Maria, I don't know if you know, but today is the 80th anniversary of the VE Day, the day that the Germans surrendered to the Allies in World War II. So for a lot of reasons, today is an incredibly special day, but it's also the next step of a new day for America around the world. And I know the president will talk more about it at 10 o'clock here at the White House. I'll be there with him. We can add some more details then. But it is a very, very, very important step, again, as we're realigning and opening up markets around the world for our American products.
Yeah, and that's what really I want to ask you about, because you're the Agricultural Secretary, and I'm wondering if there are big opportunities when it comes to farmers and the opportunities for trade in the UK.
It is massive opportunities, and I am just so excited for our farmers and our ranchers that under Joe Biden suffered just devastating consequences of an administration that put DEI and climate first, Green New Deals first, and forgot about our Americans and really forgot about our American farmers and ranchers.
Yeah.
So today you'll hear more about that, but I believe that this deal is great for all Americans, but especially for American agriculture. And again, you'll hear more about the details, but it's gonna be a big day.
I mean, somebody the other day said to me, look, when you look at Australia, they don't even buy our beef. They don't buy our meat. We need to up those numbers so that actually people across the world are buying meat from the United States. Are there specific agricultural products that you think could get a big boost by an increase from the UK?
There are very specific agricultural products, and it isn't just one specific lane. And again, I don't want to get ahead of the president. You'll hear more about it in a couple of hours, but this is going to be very, very good for our farmers and for our ranchers that have long suffered as we begin to realign. I mean, the UK, for example, had an average of about a 9% tariff on our goods, and our tariff on theirs was 5%. I mean, theirs was almost, double what ours is. And that all ends today. Again, more details coming. It is an agreement in concept. There's a lot of details to be worked out, but as the first step in making that. And again, I'll be in the UK. I leave Sunday. I'll be there all next week as we continue to push America first around the world.
What are your plans for the trip?
Well, we're going to visit, obviously, with my counterpart in the UK, talking to their government. We'll obviously be talking a lot about the deal that is being announced today, but also I'll be visiting some key agriculture American producers and distributors over there, but also understanding their agriculture and how we can better partner as we move forward in putting America first.
Look, a group of more than 30 House Republicans are demanding a, quote, genuinely fiscally responsible reconciliation plan with at least $2 trillion in spending cuts. So you testified about the White House's 2026 budget at the House hearing yesterday. You said that offices that serve farmers will not be closed. What can you tell us about that in regards to the plans being worked on with getting the president's reconciliation plan across the finish line?
That's right. I was testifying in front of the House yesterday. I testified in front of the Senate the day before, right out of the gate, talking about the president's vision to realign the government around what's best for the people, giving power back to the people. The government has gotten too big. Listen, every day at USDA, we spend $400 million on nutrition programs. Now, these are congressionally mandated, et cetera, but it's really important that Americans realize and that we have been given the mandate. President Trump was given a mandate in November to return the power to the people, to shrink the government. So while we're doing that, we're also prioritizing what is most important. And a priority is ensuring that we have all of those FSA offices, Farm Service Agency offices open so we can continue to put farmers first while we're rooting out the corrupt, the waste, the fraud, all that's rampant in these programs, especially under the massive spending of the last administration, that we're ripping out DEI. We're not doing climate change crud anymore, that instead it's a new day. And this is, again, we had the budget come out on Friday, what we call the skinny budget, more details coming later. But being on the Hill the last few days was great, and it was really encouraging. With the Republicans, it was interesting how hateful some of the Democrats were in some of those hearings, but we had some really good dialogue, and it's just such a joy to defend and promote and never stop fighting for this president's vision for our country.
And in the president's first 100 days, which of course was very successful, you worked closely with DOJ. You canceled, 3,000 contracts and grants to try to save billions. You did it by rolling back some of those Biden-era agricultural policies. What were the most onerous policies under the Biden administration?
Well, in the Biden administration and their U.S. Department of Agriculture, they were singularly focused on not putting farmers first, on not opening up markets around the world. In fact, we had a $50 billion trade deficit we just inherited just on ag products. It was a $0 trade deficit when we left the White House the first time. But what the Biden administration did, instead of putting farmers first, they put diversity, equity, and inclusion first. They funded projects for, transgender men and looking at mice and racism and pest management, climate change, all the crazy solar stuff from China. It was just one thing after another. So the 3,000, and that number is correct, just at USDA, we've canceled 3,000 contracts and grants that, instead of focusing on farmers and ranchers and agriculture in America, focused on the radical left ideology. And that's what we're changing very, very quickly here in Washington.
All right, we're going to be watching your trip, certainly, and the president's announcement coming at 10 a.m. with, alcoholic beverages, fish, shellfish, bakery products, beef and lamb. I know some of the restrictions on some of that beef have already come down in the UK.
That's right.
So we'll see what other opportunities there are. Thank you, Secretary. Good to see you.